Now we'll look at some understanding of mind that has developed due to the practice of the eight spiritual breaths. We'll talk about what is mind, its emergence, and the role of thoughts. So in the first image here, I saw this image during the spiritual breaths practice. I basically saw a tunnel which emerged in the right side and went to the left side and kept getting narrow. Now the left side, how I understood it to be, was that it represented all the thoughts, as you can see in the second image. A big ball, as it goes through this tunnel, gets divided into many smaller balls on the left side. So the source, which is on the right, gets divided into many thoughts which are on the left. And in the final image, you can see that the source sometimes gets clouded by these thoughts. Santosh Ma's explanation for these images was that the source consciousness gets divided into the individualized consciousness. And putting these pieces of information together, I saw this image which resonated very well with the fifth affirmation. Now I will to see that picture lost in the absorption of my being. In this case, my being is the smaller circles, the thoughts that fill my mind. And the golden circle is the picture that I will to see, the memory of the undivided state, the source consciousness. So up to now, we understand that the mind or the individualized consciousness emerges because of division of the source consciousness. It is also somewhat related to Osho's description of the mind. So Osho describes the mind operating at three levels. First is the instinct, the basic human functions like breathing, excretion, circulation that happen automatically. This is the lowest level of our functioning of the mind. Next comes the intellect, which involves logic, analysis, categorization, division. And this all seems to be the function of the left brain. The third is intuition, which is received knowledge from higher consciousness. And therefore, it is more holistic and less divided. It is the function of the right brain. But we also have external thoughts in our mind. Now, where do those thoughts fit in the picture? So I saw myself as a cylinder with particles whizzing about. And I understood the particles to be thoughts and the cylinder as representing me. Now these thoughts, as they are passing by me, some thoughts just pass by and some stay. And that depends on my level of awareness. If I am aware of a thought, it just passes by. But if I'm not aware, some thoughts will stay and some will pass by. And how will that happen? We'll look in the next slide. So if I'm not conscious or not fully aware of a thought that comes to me, it appeared to me that I attract thoughts based on karma. And the image I saw was of a point way behind my back, which controlled me from the back, with a series of wooden sticks and joints placed in between. And then what appeared right behind my back was a mixture of light and dark blocks. that appeared because of the splitting of the one light source which was present at the source. Now, this mixture of light and dark was the one that attracted thoughts based on my past karma. So, recap till now, the mind emerges when source consciousness splits. The left and right brain are loosely associated with the divided and the undivided consciousness, respectively. Mind is affected by external thoughts. Some thoughts stay and affect me based on past karma, and others go by if I am aware. Now we'll look at how the eight spiritual breaths also gives us means to put this knowledge into practice. The most important thing that I've learned from this practice is how to use the two sides of the brain, the left and the right, representing the divided and the undivided consciousness. And that is very pithily captured in the following verse from Ishavasya Upanishad. Vidyam cha avidyam cha yastad vedo bhayam saha avidyaya mrityum tirtva vidyaya amritamashnute, which means he who knows that as both in one, the knowledge and the ignorance, by the ignorance crosses beyond death, and by the knowledge enjoys immortality. The affirmations capture this message very beautifully and try to get it into our subconscious. We use the negative willpower of the left side to negate death and disease, and the positive willpower of the right side to affirm eternity, life, and creativity. We'll now see how that is done. I'll recite the fifth affirmation and move my pointer as the words on slides appear in the affirmation. The affirmation begins like, now, coming right down, that liquid feeling in the body, relaxing me entirely, and thinking of the loveliest thing I have ever known. There it comes, that beautiful picture, perhaps from long ago and far away. But there it stands, perfectly clear before my mind, as if it happened just but a moment ago. I thank you, Lord. I thank you, Law, for my memory. I thank you for helping me bring back from the vault of the past a thing of beauty that is in my memory. And I pledge myself, I vow that from this moment onward, no idea of any negation shall enter my memory. No idea of disease, decay, senility, old age, disappointment, doubt, failure, death. Nothing shall enter my memory but that which is in unison with all that is good and my very own highest conception of truth. And there I see the whole conduct of humankind. There I see my whole conduct. And now, feeling happy, giving thanks, I once again will to see that picture, lost in the absorption of my being as I take a little breath. And now I take another little breath and a quick sigh. We'll now look at the seventh affirmation, which also balances the positive and the negative willpower very beautifully. The affirmation begins like, the success of this breath depends entirely upon my ability to relax. I relax entirely. Coming right down, I feel happy all over. I am youth. I am youth. Glorious youth. Wonderful youth. Radiant and vibrant youth. Fearless. Achieving, daring, conquering youth. Full of courage, strength, and power. I thought my body wore out and grew old, like an old pair of shoes. But now I know, as I stand in the presence, that new cells are being made for me. I am being renewed. I sing the song of conquest. There is no age for me, no decay, no disease, no senility, no death. I am free, free from the ravages of time, free from all negations of my own mind. I am free, young, young. I am glad. I rejoice. I am young forevermore. And now, feeling happy, giving thanks, I take a little breath. Now I take another little breath. Finally, we'll also look at how the meditational affirmations help us balance the positive and negative willpower. We'll look at one example from the meditational affirmations. Death is not a law of life. Man is not subject to decay, disease, or old age. There is no old age. There is no decay. There is no death. There is no death. I am not subject to decay and old age. Now I am free, free, free forevermore. The law of creation is life. I am life, glorious, wondrous, vibrant life. I am youth. I am beauty, strength, power. I am free, free life, life. I am life, eternal, boundless, limitless, everlasting, never ending, wonderful life. I am free, free, free. I noticed that these affirmations have slowly helped in getting this message sink into my brain. But at the same time, during my daily life, also I am reminded of this balance thanks to the eight spiritual breaths practice. And these sentences from the meditational affirmations really help drive this message home. The universe is not separate from me. I am a magnet. It tells us that what we think is what we attract. And we put this into practice by using the mirror exercise, where we look at our reflection in the mirror and affirm positive thoughts. This is what shapes my image of myself. And that is my worldly being, my image of myself. And I realized I can shape it however I want. I am the master of my own life, and I will begin now to truly live it. And if we take this realization a step further, by extension, all that you see around you is an image of the self. And this message then beautifully ties in with something that Gautam ji said during his satsang, which is having awareness of the non dual, the formless in daily living means to have complete acceptance of the things around you.